Section 1.4, we're going to talk in this little segment here about congruent angles. Okay, so congruent angles. What are angles with the same measure are congruent angles. Okay, this means that if angle A, the measure of angle A, if you remember, we've seen this before, the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle B, then angle A is congruent to angle B. Okay, you can also switch it around. That says if angle A is congruent to angle B, then each one of their measures are congruent. Now, you mark angles kind of like segments you do, but they're little markings on the angles just like this. They're little like half circle markings. So when you see the same markings on angles, like in this case, angle A and angle B, that means that they are congruent. So in this case, angle A is congruent to angle B. Okay, now, with that being said, let's take a look here at these examples now. And it says here the measure of angle FXH is 130. So from F to X to H is 130 degrees total. The measure of angle FXG is 49. Okay? It wants to know angle FXG is congruent to what other angle is essentially what this is asking. Well, FXG is right here. You'll notice it has a single arc mark. Well, what I'm looking for in the picture is what other angle has a single arc mark. In this case, it's this angle right here. So I would name that angle IXJ. Again, the vertex has to be in the middle, and the vertex is letter X. Okay. Could you name it JXI? Absolutely. You could in this case right now. Okay. All right, so when it looks like this for number 2, this is saying the measure of angle GXH is how much? Okay, so I want to know how much GXH is. Well, let's go up here and let's do some labeling on our picture. I know FXG is 49 degrees. Okay, and I know that FXH, which FXH is from here to there. I know the whole angle in this case is 130. Well, if I take the whole and I subtract the part, we go back to kind of using kind of like the segment addition postulate in this case, but it's an angle thing. If I take 130 and I subtract 49, that should give me how much the measure of this angle right here is, which is GXH. Okay, so if I take 130 and I subtract 49, I end up with 81 degrees. Anytime it says the measure, it's asking for a number. If it doesn't have measure, like the first one, they're asking, okay, what angle is congruent to it? It says here, number 3, name a straight angle in the figure. There's a couple different ways to name the straight angle. Remember, a straight angle is an angle that's a straight line. So I'm going to name this angle FXI. That's one possible. Again, it has to be a straight line, F, X, and I. X is the vertex. Or I could name angle GXJ. Either one would be acceptable. Okay, so let's take a look down here at number 4. Okay, problem number 4. It says here angle IXJ is congruent to what other angle? So in this case, IXJ, again, it has the single marking. IXJ has the single angle marking. So I want to name an angle congruent to that. I want to name this angle GXF. Or I could name it angle FXG. Okay, so you should be able to complete the examples down here below on this first page.